All right, so you want to talk TikTok ads, huh? Well, strap in because we're going deep on this one. And lucky for us, we've got the inside scoop straight from the marketing masterminds over at SocialWick.
Think of it this way. You know that old saying, fish where the fish are?
Makes sense to me.
Well, on TikTok, the fish are practically jumping in the boat. We're talking 1.25 billion users globally. That's huge.
Oh, that is a lot of fish. And it's not just about silly dances and trends anymore, right? I mean, SocialWick made it clear that Gen Z, those who grew up with smartphones practically glued to their hands, they've got some serious buying power these
Oh,
days.
absolutely. And what's interesting is SocialWick's research shows they're not just scrolling passively. They actually shape the trends. They value authenticity,
Yeah.
realness, and they respond to creativity, humor. That's super important to remember when you're trying to get their attention.
So it's not enough to just be on TikTok. You got to speak their language.
Exactly.
And if we're talking their language, SocialWick threw out a pretty compelling number, something like $360 billion in disposable income. Now, that's a language everyone understands.
It certainly is. Whether you're selling directly on the platform or just trying to get your brand out there, that kind of reach is hard to ignore.
Okay, so we've established TikTok is massive, super engaged users, plus they've got money to spend. But what makes it different for advertising? Why not just stick to, say, Instagram ads?
Engagement. That's where TikTok blows everything else out of the water.
Mm.
We're talking about a 4.25% engagement rate. To put that in perspective, most platforms are lucky to hit 1%.
Whoa. Okay, so that's a huge difference. But do
Uh-huh.
those numbers actually translate to real results for businesses?
They do. SocialWick's data shows the more someone engages with an ad, the more likely they are to remember that brand. And here's the kicker. They're also more likely to become a customer. In fact, they found that 93% of brands got new customers directly from social media video ads.
Hmm.
And, well, TikTok is basically Video Central, right?
It's all starting to come together now. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty. TikTok has all kinds of different ads, right? It's not just one standard format.
You're right, and that's smart. It keeps things interesting for users, and it gives advertisers way more flexibility to reach the right people. SocialWick breaks down these different ad types really well. Maybe we should go through them.
Yeah, let's do it. What first? All right, hit me with it. What kind of ads are we talking about here?
So first up, you've got your in-feed ads. SocialWick says they're designed to blend right into a user's feed. Less in your face than like a banner ad or something.
Right, got to keep things feeling natural.
Exactly. People are way more likely to engage if it doesn't feel like an interruption.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So what about when you do want to make a bigger splash?
Well, if you really want to grab attention, there's brand takeovers. Someone opens TikTok, boom. Your brand is the first thing they see.
Oh, that's an entrance. Sounds like those are best when you want maximum impact right away.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, on the other hand, if brand takeovers feel a little too intense, maybe top U ads are a better fit.
Oh, so still that prime real estate at the top of the feed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But a little less, in your face.
Subtlety is an art form sometimes. But for our listeners who are all about getting people involved, what about something more interactive?
Branded hashtags are where it's at. Get people creating content around your brand. Now that's engagement. It's like user-generated marketing on steroids.
I love that. SocialWick mentioned branded effects too, right? I feel like those are perfect for a platform like TikTok.
Absolutely. Think AR filters, lenses, all that fun stuff that people love to play with and share. SocialWick's research shows these can be really effective, especially if you tie them into a hashtag challenge or something.
So smart, turning your audience into brand ambassadors. Okay, now let's talk to the shoppers out there, those who are ready to buy.
All right, well, for that, you've got to check out collection ads. Imagine scrolling through TikTok and then bam, you're shopping without even leaving the app.
So it's like that whole impulse buy thing, but streamlined for TikTok.
Pretty much. And last but not least, there are Spark ads. These are interesting because they're all about boosting your existing organic content.
So say you've got a video that's already performing well.
Right. You slap a Spark ad on it, and it helps you reach a much wider audience. Maximize that success.
Gotta love a good boost. SocialWick really lays out the options, doesn't it? Feels like there's an ad format for every single goal.
There really is. It's about picking the right tool for the job, which actually is a perfect way to transition into the next phase, setting up your campaign. I know this is the part that can feel kind of intimidating for some people.
I get it. But the good news is SocialWick gives us a roadmap, right? A step-by-step guide to get started, even though at first glance it can seem a little overwhelming.
Definitely overwhelming if you're going in blind. They emphasize the TikTok pixel right off the bat. Super important.
The what now? Break that down for me.
Okay, so the TikTok Pixel, it's this little piece of code you put on your website. And basically, it tracks everything. It tells you what people do after they click on your ad.
So it's like a little detective reporting back on whether your TikTok strategies are actually working.
Exactly. This is your website, make a purchase, sign up for your email list. The Pixel tracks it all.
Gold mine. Talk about valuable information.
Nay.
But let's back up for a sec. For the newbies listening, can we walk through the actual campaign setup, SocialWick style?
Sure thing. First things first, you got to create your TikTok ads account, then get that Pixel installed.
Phil.
And then the fun begins. You need to figure out your campaign objective. What's your main goal here? More website traffic, app downloads, something else entirely.
So it's like setting your destination before you plan the route. Makes sense to me.
Right on. Then it's time for ad group creation. This is where things get granular. You'll define your target audience, choose your placements, set your budget, and of course, figure out the schedule for your campaign.
Okay, so getting super specific here. Who you want to reach, where you want to reach them, and when. Got to make sure your message is seen by the right eyes at the right time. Okay, so you've got your goals, your audience, your placements. Feels like we're ready to launch this thing. What's next?
Time to get creative. This is where you actually build the ad. Upload those eye-catching videos, write some killer ad copy. Let those creative juices flow.
So the ad is built, the audience is targeted, launch button's right there. But something tells me we're not quite done yet.
You're catching on. Launching is just step one. SocialWick is all about optimization. Constantly tweaking, improving, making sure your campaign is performing at its best.
So not a set it and forget it kind of deal. Got to stay on top of things, keep an eye on that data.
Exactly. And that's where that TikTok Pixel we were talking about really comes in handy. Analyze that data, see what's working, what's not. You'd be surprised what a few adjustments can do.
It's like fine-tuning an engine, right? Got to make sure everything's running smoothly. So, spill the secrets. What kind of optimizations are we talking about?
First things first. SocialWick really emphasizes choosing the right ad format. We went through the options, but it's not a one-size-fits-all situation. Make sure the format actually aligns with your goals.
Yeah, a branded hashtag challenge probably isn't going to be the best fit if you're focused on driving direct sales.
Exactly. And this is TikTok we're talking about, so video quality is non-negotiable. SocialWick can't stress that enough. People expect high-quality, engaging content. Good lighting, clear audio, the whole 9 yards.
Got to meet those expectations. And then, of course, there's the whole attention span thing, which, let's be honest, is getting shorter and shorter, especially on platforms like TikTok.
So true. And that's why video length is so important. SocialWick's research found that shorter ads tend to do better. People want that quick hit of entertainment. Keep it snappy.
Short and sweet. I like it.
Okay.
Before we wrap up, we can talk about the technical stuff, right? Those nitty-gritty details that can make or break an ad campaign.
Oh, absolutely. Video resolution, aspect ratio, file size. SocialWick lays out all the technical specs. It can seem a little tedious, but trust me, it matters.
Yeah, got to make sure you don't get tripped up by the technicalities. But even with the most amazing ad, there's always room for improvement, right?
100%. That's the beauty of digital marketing. You can constantly analyze, adjust, get those results even better. SocialWick's a big fan of A/B testing. Create a few different versions of your ad and see what happens.
Let the data guide your decisions. Love it. So it sounds like mastering TikTok ads is an ongoing process. Always learning, always adapting.
It definitely keeps you on your toes. But platforms like SocialWick make it way less intimidating. They've got a ton of great resources and guidance to help you through every step.
This deep dive has been incredibly insightful. I feel like we've uncovered some serious gold here.
Yeah.
From understanding what makes TikTok so unique as a platform to those different ad types. And then, of course, the whole campaign setup, the optimization secrets. We've covered a lot of ground today.
We just scratched the surface. But hopefully our listeners feel ready to dive in and start experimenting.
Absolutely. Remember, knowledge is power, especially in the world of social media. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Try things out, see what works. And hey, most importantly, have fun with it.